Hello, my name is Frank and welcome to Stationery at 4, a place where I review, discuss, and create with all things stationery related at 4 a.m. Today I'll be reviewing the Galen Leather A5 Zip Portfolio. I'll be talking about what it actually is, what I liked about it, what I didn't like about it, and my color choice in particular. Before we dive into the review, if you like what you see in this video, please click on the subscribe link below. It helps support me in producing more of these videos. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. So I bought this from Wonder Pens in Ontario, Canada 3 weeks ago. It's a fantastic stationery store and I highly recommend checking it out. The product itself is from Galen Leather, as mentioned. And it's a beautiful product, I have to say. I had my eye on this product for quite some time and I wanted to buy it directly from Galen Leather, which has got a fantastic company history and it's a wonderful company. They're situated in Turkey and I just couldn't justify the shipping and import costs, so I was really glad when Wonder Pens started carrying them. It's about $150, which I think is well worth it right off the bat, just given that most portfolios start in the $300 to $400 range and go upwards from there. This is the honey ochre version of it, and as I mentioned, I've had it for about 3 weeks and I've already started getting little ink spots on it, which is great. I wasn't too sure about the color personally. I think the Wonder Pens product photos did a really good job of showcasing how light the color is, the honey ochre version. The Galen Leather website, the product photos were a little bit richer and darker in patina, more closer to kind of a nice caramel brown, which is what I was really hoping for, but there you go. That's what you get in the modern age of digital color accuracy and representation. I've come to really enjoy the color and I know over time it'll get a nice rich deep patina and darken as color ages. So here's the Zip Portfolio. It's got a nice robust zip on it. That's the zip, I think, in the title. And it's meant to carry an A5 sized notebook. So opening this guy up here, and you're presented with your pen slot holders. And the honey ochre comes with a nice little yellow felt backing. The Galen Leather website, as well as the Wonder Pens website, have a few different options for color variations. I think there's dark brown, a forest green, and navy, which only come from Galen Leather, those specific colors, but I really like it. There's also an undyed leather version here as well. There's a couple of pens that are in here as well for your pen slot holders, as well as an area for, I think, cable and cable management. Personally, I haven't had a use for it, but it's a nice option just to have these nice little elastic straps put in place for it as well. Behind the pen slot insert area is an area for, personally I'm just keeping a notebook here, but something else that you might want to slot in there. And then 4 credit card holders, which I've got some nice Kita tapes in here, which is going to be for a future video because I love them. Washi tapes. And then a deeper slot in the back here for everything else. The product description on the website also describes having this as an area for an iPad mini or some other slot for larger components in there. Personally, I wouldn't put an iPad mini in here, and I'll talk about that in a second. And over here on the right hand side is your insert area for an A5 notebook or a notepad, which you can slot underneath like that as well. So there you have it. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention. The portfolio does come with a keychain holder, which kind of clips right in the middle here. I personally don't keep my keychains in keys on me like that. In a portfolio, I personally keep it right in my pocket at all times. I also don't think this was going to work from a space requirement. Again, I'll talk about that in a second here. So there you have it. That's the Zip Portfolio. I'm going to slot my pens back in here. and then I'm going to talk about things I don't like about it. There is a lot to like, but there are a couple things that I found are just maybe minor annoyances, personally, that didn't quite work for me. So getting this all back in here, the first thing I'm going to highlight here is the fact that, as you can tell, my journal is scuffed up and it's got little indentations and color markings on it. And that comes from the fact that the product is reported to fit a lot of things, which is great, but it actually is difficult once you get everything in there that you want. So zipping this up, it becomes warped, a little bit unwieldy in my opinion, and doesn't quite sit flat as a result. So you can see that. I'm only highlighting it, perhaps it's subjective, from the perspective of product longevity. You can start seeing that the leather is trying to pull away from this fabric where the zipper is attached to. I'm not sure how long that'll last. I'm hoping it does last a long time, and maybe it's built for that kind of abuse, but it is surprising to say the least, just given how much the portfolio is supposed to hold. I'm no design expert, but perhaps if this had a little bit more give or more additional material on the spine here, it would allow it to have a little bit more space, and maybe if this fabric was expandable. Again, I have no idea if they could do that, but just some thoughts from my perspective. So that was kind of the first thing I noted. When you have pens like the Lamy, which have nice big fat clips on them, my suggestion actually for trying to minimize that bulging wieldy impact there is just to turn the pens to the side and get those clips kind of tucked in. And that's not natural. I don't know, maybe it's just a weird subjective thing where I typically tend to put my clips facing up, but I'm gonna go ahead and just tuck these off to the side and show you what I mean by all of this. Gives you less surface area that's being, I guess, squished. When you go to close it up, it's a little bit easier. You might notice when and if you get one of these guys on your own, but it becomes much easier to zip in my opinion, and the warping is noticeably less. Maybe just subjectively less. Again, perhaps just my own minor thing. Most notebooks come with page markers and this little tassel thing down here. And the first time I got it, just did it again in this video, was I went to go zip it and I got the page marker caught right in there, and that's not ideal. So just something to watch out for. I would keep that out of the way, and I've come to really just learn to tuck it in. I guess the other thing that's a bit of a minor annoyance, I want to obviously journal with this notebook inside the portfolio here as well. The whole idea is portable journal mentality for me at least, and this toothy zipper can get a little scratchy on my wrist, and I've noticed that when I've gone to journal, especially when I get deeper into the book, it just gets a little scratchy and a little bit annoying there. So I've come to just really enjoy taking my notebook out and having effectively a portable desk if you want. That's right there. So the last thing I wanted to highlight with respect to something I didn't really like, but I don't think that you can really do anything about it from a design perspective, I think just portfolios are generally like that, is when you're going to go and journal on the left hand side, because this is not flat, there's stuff underneath it, it's not a flat area to journal on. Again, what I've come to do is just either take the notebook out, or I actually pull the notebook or the pen holder and the pens right out, and that way it gives me a bit of a flat surface area. That all being said, I did take this to my son's karate class, and while I was waiting for him and watching him, I whipped out my journal because I wanted to write something about some of the cool things he was doing there. And I kept the notebook in here. I wrote in here, and I kind of put up with those little minor annoying things that I thought were annoying. And I really enjoyed it. It was a great great journaling experience from the perspective of I had all the pens and tools that I wanted in my hands, and things weren't falling out of my lap onto the floor. It was all contained. So there's a lot to like here. I really like it. In fact, it's become one of my favorite accessories from a stationery perspective, and it's really renewed my sense of enjoying writing, using writing instruments, and particularly journaling in here. So there you have it. That's the Galen Leather A5 Zip Portfolio. If you like this video, please click on the subscribe link below. I hope to make more videos like this. And if you've got any thoughts and suggestions about the A5 Zip Portfolio that you have, I'd love to hear about it in the comment section below.